Hello and welcome to the Romeo's a Dead Man Spoilercast and review from GigaBoots. I'm your host, Noel Slamrocket Video Games, and with me is Bob.
Romeo, or should I call you Dead Man?
And Chris Wolfhard.
I'm a dead man.
And that's right, we've gathered here to review the budget-friendly $50 Romeo is a Dead Man from Suda51. If you've never listened to one of our Spoilercast and reviews before, what we do is at the beginning we make a guttural sound after a couple sentences summarizing vaguely how we feel about the game. Then we spend the next chunk of the podcast giving a lot of details about criticisms, praise, musings, etc. Tell some anecdotes, and then at the end, you will get our summary reviews and our scores out of 10, with a maximum possible score of 30. So, let's get started. We're gonna go ahead and let Bob start us off. Bob, give me a couple sentences and a guttural sound.
Romeo's a Dead Man is a very interesting game where every single level is at least twice as long as it should be.
Chris Wolfhard.
Romeo is a Dead Man is a game that will convince you that Netease needs to be shut down and also make you wonder why Suda even bothered. Ugh.
Romeo's a Dead Man is so not completed in its execution of its plot lines, mechanics, and other things that it almost comes off as a living design document than a game. And so, with that said, I feel like we've prepared people for what this game felt like to have bought for $50 and played through. Are we good to go to our summary reviews?
I think all of us sounded pretty exhausted there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the way I'll just get out ahead of this is go, I don't regret spending $50 on it, but I have some thoughts about Netease. I'm not happy.
I maybe regret spending $50 on it.
And I would understand that. I think that's I think a normal person would feel that way. For me, I am going to just support Suda until he makes something so obviously awful, in my opinion, that I won't even touch it. And so because of that dedication, I don't feel bad for the $50, but I think any normal person would.
Yeah, the only thing I can look at it and just praise, like without any caveat, is, hey, the soundtrack's really good.
Yeah, the soundtrack is really good.
It is.
I probably would have been better off buying a album than an actual game, though.
It's a much better value to the dollar, yeah. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to cover it once, and we will hopefully won't have to live in this dimension forever, but oh my god, No More Heroes 3 being on Unreal Engine 4 looks so much better than this game does, and I played it on the Pro. The whole game is mushy, radioactive garbage.
Yeah, it looks terrible.
Now they can have realistic skin and realistic textures on different other things.
And the worst lighting you've ever seen.
Yeah, no, it is.
Ray tracing is the future. It lets people delude themselves into thinking they don't need to key light their game so you can't see anything anywhere.
It's funny because in Unreal Engine 5, the way that shit works is it's like subdividing the entire environment into Lumen software lighting, which, if you think about how buildings are made, they divide into rooms, not arbitrary square feet. So that's why you have so many light leak problems and other issues in a lot of these games. That's why the simulation doesn't really hold up in the least. It's terrible. I got to City Hall the first time, and I was like, this is awful. This looks terrible. I hate playing this video game. And I got through that, and I started to feel a little bit better because I think that's the lowest point in the game. But then, as a sick, cruel joke, the game was like, no, you don't understand. We really didn't have the money to finish this game. Go to City Hall again.
Yeah, go to City Hall again, and that's like the final level.
Yeah, the worst level.
Yeah.
It's like you were truly out of everything.
Yeah, it's crazy how this game feels so out, but it's still so long.
I know, right? And that's the power of Subspace Dimension.
Yeah, the Subspace Dimension is easily going to take Budget Dimension of the Year. There's no contest with this. The entire final real level is that.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the way it executes in every other level, for people who haven't played the game, you do a lot of action, and then you go to Subspace, and it's spatially vaguely the same as the real world, but you can't do any fighting, and it's now just running across cubes. So just imagine the space, the volume of the original level is there in a parallel world, but what you're running around in is a void where every platform and wall is made of cubes. And this is half of the game, basically.
And the main trick in that world is you can't see the cubes until you get near them, so you kind of have to just
feel your way around.
Blindly walk around the level, hoping to get through it.
It's really depressing. So the Suda games I played are all No More Heroes and Killer 7. I've seen the other games. I'm aware of them. I've yet to play them. We really want to do streams of those. This is beneath every No More Heroes game, including Travis Strikes Again, significantly. Because Travis Strikes Again is a budget gameplay thing, but the visual novel stuff is so fucking built out. And part of me was hoping they would really lean on that again for this game.
Yeah.
Because it's also not high budget or done.
Yeah, and it feels like they almost start doing that, but near the end of the game, and it's like, it's not salvageable at this point, man. You didn't have enough.
Also, it strikes me as artistically less interesting in its execution of the Apple II style, adventure game. Like, it feels like they're just reusing it again without really trying, and that's it's so disappointing.
It really is.
I honestly, when I first went to Subspace, because they have you go to it like in the first level even. I thought because that one is vaguely like the area you start in, visually, like it's a kind of a swamp when you go into Subspace.
Uh-huh.
I thought that was specifically for that area we were in because we were in a swamp. And then they never changed the aesthetic to Subspace at all through the whole game. And I was like, oh, wow.
Uh-huh.
It really has no money.
Yeah, because the first level is out in the woods. It's in the forest. So when it has, water settled at the bottom and trees-ish looking things in the distance, it seems matched to that biome. But then that's every one of them. That's so bizarre. It's such an odd choice.
Almost like it wasn't a choice.
It's almost like that. Many things in this game come off as almost like it wasn't a choice. At the beginning of this game, the energy is so manic with how many intros you get and how many art styles it changes through in presentation methods. And then you hit the ship, and I think that signals the last time they ever do that again. Like, so you get all 7 presentation styles or whatever in the very beginning of the game. And then it's just locked down to slowly going between them for the tiniest amount of time. Like, they don't have a whole lot of stuff to do on the spaceship in the grand scheme of things. You spend forever there the first time you're there, but past that, they're like, whatever, fuck it.
Yeah, it really felt like there was going to be a whole thing there, and we were going to develop these characters on the spaceship, and they just don't. Like, I between every mission, I went and talked to basically everyone on the ship, thinking, okay, now we're going to find out more about his sister. Now we're going to find out more about Midori or something. And it's like, you get the tiniest bits of dialogue with each of them. Like, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it's really disappointing in that way. I was expecting more interesting stuff. In No More Heroes 3, you run into Midori Midorikawa and other regular Suda characters, and it feels great. You get moments, and it's funny as hell. In this, they're there. And that's it.
Yeah, I think the only one of those characters end up mattering is the dude who's like a weird burnt corpse in a painting.
Yeah. His name was like Death Black or something, wasn't it?
Something like that.
The fact we have to theorize this character's name that is like a really important character allegedly by the end.
Yeah, I don't like, I wouldn't say any character in this game is important, perhaps not even the main character.
Yeah, I get what they're going for with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I do, but it doesn't even seem fully developed of Romeo and Juliet.
Right.
No, like, yeah, I get it. I do. Like, he fell in love with this girl he doesn't actually know anything about, and every time he learns something about her he doesn't like, he goes, oh, that's not her. That's some other thing.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have anything else.
Right, that's the problem.
No, not really.
He even, like, Suda even did the same thing he did in Shadows of the Damned, where the final boss is commitment. Because it's it's covered in these umbilical cords and stuff, and has like a fetus type motif.
Yeah.
To compare to Shadows of the Damned, which had like a marriage type motif. Like, it really sucks to say that even Shadows of the Damned, I think I would rather play multiple more times than play Romeo as a Dead Man again. I kind of hate every enemy in this game.
I think by the time I got my bastards online, my summons, if you haven't played this game, you use assists that are zombies that they call bastards, and realize that you should put all the Emerald Flosion into the maze type game to upgrade your stats.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hate fighting anything anymore per se, except for the final boss.
The only enemy I hated for the entire game was the one that you kill, then you waited like a full 30 seconds, he stands back up, and then you have to kill him again because he transformed into something new. That was the only one I truly hated.
Yeah, you just stare at him and wait.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even a difficulty thing. I felt like in no other Suda game have I ever gotten like sealed in a corner by an enemy just blocking the way.
Yeah.
Yes, anytime that happens, that's really bad.
Yeah, that does happen a lot in this.
Like, just so much about the combat system is annoying. The assists are annoying because they have to spawn in, usually do a little pose, and then they do whatever they're going to do. And if anything touches them, they just give up and leave.
And that's why No More Heroes 3's combat system is just way fucking better, because the R1 plus face button attacks are all instant things that Travis does.
Yeah, there's a reason. As soon as I was able to get a thing that made it so I just was powerful instead of using summons, I did that. It was like, oh, you give me just straight up 20% damage boost to everything I do. That's way better than dealing with these summons that might not work.
Yeah, and by the end, I was there with you, honestly. I should have changed over. You want to talk about, like, and I know this is getting into ultra spoilers, which we already dabbled in a decent bit by now, but the main thing that sucked for me in this game to fight was the final boss, because I did not lean into the light of God that was the rocket launcher until too late. So all that currency, which this game does not give you a good way to upgrade more than one thing.
No, it doesn't.
No.
And it doesn't even let you change your mind at all. Like, you can't undo an upgrade.
Yeah, so my rocket launcher was woefully underpowered for the final boss. I have no problem saying this, because it doesn't even, honestly, I wouldn't even call this a skill issue, because none of the rest of the game was a fucking problem, but this final boss, since I didn't have a powered up rocket launcher, was a bastard. Chris, how many times did you revive at the final boss?
I don't think once. I think I just beat it to death. I don't even think I really heavily used the bastards.
Bob, you said once?
Yeah, I think I had to, like, I didn't even do the resurrect thing in level. I just died and had to retry it once.
Oh, okay. I'm, with no exaggeration, 7 fucking times. I just kept dying and reviving over and over and over, because without a rocket launcher to do damage, significant damage at a long distance, that guy really fucking sucks to fight. So
yeah, I noticed trying to do melee was basically impossible. That's why it took me a second try to be like, we're just not doing that.
See, at that point, I had the thing that makes your bastards regenerate really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I would just kept throwing the exploding one at it, which knocks any enemy prone, even bosses.
Oh my god, yeah, that would do it. That would do
Then
it.
I just run up. Then I would just run up and pound on its dick. And when it got up, I would use all the bloody Sundays I had, and then I would run away and wait for the bastard to respawn, to refill up. Do it again, and because the Bloody Sunday will always stagger, so it'll interrupt them.
Yeah.
So they can't start their shit until you run out. And I had everything maxed out, all my damage maxed out. So I just kind of rolled over them. Like the hardest boss in the game for me was the second one, not the tutorial one, but the head.
Yeah, me too. That because of the way this game's difficulty is balanced, like you become way OP right after that boss. It feels like. I feel like that second boss also had more going on design wise than most of the rest of the bosses in the game.
Oh, we're talking about the mall boss?
Yeah, the mall boss, the giant head.
Yeah, okay. I didn't have, and yes, he does have way more design-wise going on than any other boss in the game, which is really bizarre, because I remember you early on when we were playing through, on Big Thing Dimension, we're like, I hope some of the bosses aren't just some giant guy. And when I hit
That's what every fucking one is.
Yeah, every single one. At least when I hit the mall boss, it was like, oh, there's like a design and phases and things, right?
Right.
None of the others really feel like that at all. They're just giant guys.
Not really. Yeah, and the art design for basically all the enemies and bosses is super plain in a way you don't expect from Suda. I think the most interesting one is the final boss and also the horror level boss where it's like the two heads fused together.
Yeah, by the end of that, I'm like, I'm going to kill you for making me go through this fucking terrible level.
Yeah, that
I thought it was enormously funny. But even I hit a limit with it when it was like, now loop it the third time. Like the final time it did it, I was like, that was one too many.
Right, exactly.
You had to loop it so many times.
Yes, I think it was like one or two too many loops. It was like, no, dude. No, this isn't fun anymore. And then when you finish doing all the loops, it's like, go to subspace. I'm like, I want to delete the game.
So what are you thinking? A 9, a 10?
Yeah, it's probably a 10.
Oh, okay, good.
While we're on the topic of major spoilers, this is the biggest spoiler in the game because it's literally the post-credit sequence, but that's basically the only thing I want to talk about.
Yeah, that's fair. I also want to talk about that.
So the entire lead up to that, like the intro to this post-credit sequence, I am absolutely convinced this is Liberation Maiden.
Yeah, that seems right, yeah.
So then when the big reveal is it isn't and it's like their kids or something, I'm like, I don't care, dude. You just turned this into a Gundam reference. I don't care.
What?
You ruined this for me so hard. Liberation Maiden's honestly one of my favorite Suda games. And that would have been incredible. What you've done here is just lame.
But yeah, no, it's him and his sister. It's not their kids or anything.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought it was funny because it's Suda cannot resist doing, here's the ending of this game, an epic tease for what could be next. And I'm like, it was fine when you did it in No More Heroes 3.
It felt too similar to No More Heroes 3, honestly, with this one.
It did, because it's the same humor. It's the same idea of why it's funny to do this. Also, this one's Versus. It's just the ending of Versus, really. Because you get a giant time jump, and it's like, oh, the roles were reversed. Wait, no. She was never a bad guy. But he is now. Oh, yeah, we gotta talk about this here, because we talked about it in a big thing, but we didn't talk about it in a dedicated thing to talk about Romeo's dead man. There's gotta be an origin point for the Japanese joke of, you look different. Well, of course I look different. I changed my mind. What is the first instance of this? Because Battlefield Baseball was my first coming across it,
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea.
If someone knows, just throw out the oldest reference, like the oldest version of that joke in Japanese media in the fucking comments section.
Yeah, please.
We're definitely...
It would be really funny to find out, no, they're all just a big fan of Battlefield Baseball. Like, that'd be hilarious.
Right? That would be fucking fantastic. And Suda obviously would be.
Yes.
It's got to be something from like the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Almost. It might even be a Kamen Rider. We don't know.
Probably Kamen Rider. It's probably Kamen Rider. If it isn't,
there's probably some huge level like recasting they had to do in some major show like that.
Right. We get the suit redesign, and they're like, oh, what? Well, you look different. Of course, I look different because I changed my mind.
Did anyone else interact with the the thing where you can refight bosses?
Yes.
No, I didn't want to refight any of those motherfuckers, so I did not.
Something they don't tell you is that also gets you different charms or accessories. I forget what they're called.
That's right, badges.
Pins. Oh, badges.
And that's where I got the one that let me just take the zombies off of my character and get more powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that one too.
Also, they let you bet your currency against it. So you like put down a certain amount of currency and you get more back if you win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it gives you, like in a lot of the cases, 1.2 times or 1.4 times whatever you put down.
Right, and it goes up higher the newer the boss is, like the later in the game the boss is from. But I found out the best thing to do, like most time efficient version, is just play the first boss over and over again because you can beat it in 20 seconds.
Yeah, no, it doesn't take long to beat that first boss at all.
Especially if I had that leveled up rocket launcher, like I just shot her like 3 times and she died.
Yeah, I bet.
It's not a smartly balanced game, is what I may be saying.
Ain't that the truth?
But I think I had more fun doing that than most of the actually playing this game. I also really like doing the Palace Asenas because it was one part of the game I can guarantee I would never have to play Subspace in.
True. And yeah, that song is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite song in the game.
It is really good.
Yeah.
Some of the boss scenes are really good too. So I
true.
I can't really choose.
Yeah, this might be the shortest spoiler cast and review we've ever done, just because this game isn't done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just feels so empty. Like Suda has played with the idea of a Souls type game before, because that's what Let It Die is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this feels like that was going to be revisiting it before it got completely gutted. Because the checkpoints even respawn enemies.
Yeah, that's true. They have the slightest hint.
And the upgrade material is just like tiered, and it's more of the same thing, which is also Soulsian.
Mm-hmm.
And then just every single thing had to be removed from the game.
Yeah, that's how it feels. A lot of certain things in the game honestly come off as they are balance things added to it to make sure you don't lose your fucking mind playing it. And so, yeah, no, I immediately ran into and realized the sort of Soulsian influences on it, but the game isn't really set up right for that. It doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, basically every level is a linear action level. Like, it's not any sort of exploration going on.
Yeah, and even like the mall tries to trick you into thinking maybe that'll be an aspect of the game, but no.
Right.
Yeah.
Once you realize what the mall actually is, it's like, oh, this is closer to a lollipop chainsaw level than Souls. Like,
yeah,
that's really strange. Like, every single one of these stages feels like it's straight off the SS store and has basically nothing to do with the story at all.
Yeah, given how important the Civil War was, timeline-wise, we don't do a single level there?
We don't do a single level in what feels like is any place important. It feels like it's all just random locations in this city.
Yeah, there's not like an antagonistic force that you keep meeting.
Mm-mm.
There's like nothing.
Yeah, ostensibly you're hunting down these time criminals, but they all just happen to be in this one place, and they don't really do anything. And usually they morph into a monster that's nothing like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels like just this massive pile of ideas that had to be jumbled together into a game that could ship.
Yeah. That's how it feels at the end of the day. As I said, loose design document more so than a finished video game.
There are even things I do really like about it. Like, between every chapter, you go to the diner, and it's like a flashback where you get to see part of Romeo's past when he was just hanging out in the diner and either meeting up with Juliet or not.
And his sister's there. And
his sister's there, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought every one of those was really neat. I don't know if it really built towards anything.
Yeah, that's what you can say about literally everything in this game.
Yeah.
It's really disappointing. Again, though, since it was $50, I'm a lot more forgiving on it. If this was 60 even, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, could you imagine they went crazy and charged 70?
No. I literally cannot
Yeah,
imagine.
like when this was announced, we thought, oh, Suda's reading the room, but now it feels like we can't get away with charging a single cent more than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man, I like so many of the character designs in this too. Like his grandfather, the different art styles are so good.
Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
stuff is fun.
It's so frustrating. God, is it
But
frustrating?
yeah, like we were talking about at the beginning, you get to introduce all these different art styles and all sorts of crazy stuff at the beginning of the game, and that kind of feels like it just settles into a repetitive loop for the rest of the game, and then it ends.
And then the animated sequence that's possibly done by AC Boo again, because that happened in No More Heroes 3 as well, which I really like that musical number. That was really fun aesthetically, just sliding into that and then driving through it and coming out. That was
that was incredible. That was great.
That was great. That was really great. Between the first hour and 20 minutes of the game and that, which is damn near the end, nothing. It's all just things you've seen before.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so weird.
Which I think this game would benefit a lot from just cutting most of this. Like, cut out basically all of Subspace, just have that be the final level and be vaguely implied earlier on or something.
Yeah, I don't even understand the point of it. It was so dull.
Here's what you do. You do the fucking Killer 7 hallway. You just have Subspace be the final thing you walk through on the way to the boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of making every level at least twice as long.
It was so miserable as an experience to just be like truly, I think it was at its worst, the first City Hall. I don't think the other subspaces were quite as terrible. But God, it would really benefit from cutting back on the subspace. This game didn't need to be this long.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, it's $50. It doesn't feel like they made enough content for this length. I don't know why they felt the need to be this length. Maybe NetEase did have some weird obligation for them to make a certain length of game.
No money, though.
Right.
We won't give you the money to do that, though.
And of course not.
Like, this, I'm pretty sure this is the longest Suda game. Like, the only thing that could conceivably be that isn't a visual novel.
Right.
Yeah, no, you might be right. Like, none of those No More Hero games are this long.
Yeah, they're like 6 to 10. Shadows of the Damned is like maybe 6. Killer is Dead is like maybe 6. Killer 7 is like 8 to 10.
Yeah, I don't know why it is this long.
It's like we got to make a 15 to 20 hour long game that has mostly nothing in it. Like, remember that level remember the zombie girl who showed up for 45 minutes?
Uh-huh.
What was that about?
I don't know, but that level was the best level of the game, possibly, because it changed entire biomes halfway through and was clearly 2 different levels stitched together.
God, that was so frustrating that they didn't want to, like, the zombie girl just be acting normal. Could have been interesting, and they could have developed that into something. Instead, they just stop.
Yeah, again, that's the case with everything in this game. It's really disappointing because you look at it, and it doesn't finish any one of the things. It doesn't fully develop a single thing.
But you're right, that level is clearly 2 different levels. God, it changed so drastically in the second half. And that's also the level where they explain Dark Pitch Black Demon Man or whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck is this guy's name? 1 second. There's not even a single wiki.
Oh.
No.
Okay, there's the Kill the Past wiki. Maybe it'll have a character list. It does. Oh, that's why we couldn't remember his name. It's The Black.
What is this, the Mega 64 sketch?
Yes, it is, clearly. Worth noting, he doesn't even have an article on this fucking Kill the Past wiki.
What?
Well, of course, he's basically not a character.
And yet he has more development than basically anyone else in this game.
Yeah, they wrote so much shit about him. You read all these fucking text documents, which I said in a big thing. I should say it again here. Suda, if we're going to do this again, just have him pick up the script. Don't even pretend it's a note written by anyone else. Just have it literally be, oh, he found the script in the room. This is where the story is. Yeah, no, he's got all this insane shit about all of his background. Like, there's so much buildup with his background and origin story, and like, oh, he's you know, in the same time period as the boss of that level and all this other stuff. And then we just don't like do anything with that. It's just resolved and ends abruptly.
Yeah. It just doesn't lead anywhere, like basically everything in the game.
1 second, I'm reading on this wiki. The game's development included the construction of a physical diorama of the game's world, which could then be incorporated into the game through 3D scanning. Yeah,
Where the fuck was that?
They did one cutscene at the very beginning that panned across the diorama of the game. I don't think that was even scanned in, but maybe that was scanned in and they used a virtual camera to move across it. It was clearly photogrammetry, but that didn't matter in the game. It's yet another thing in the game that you go, oh, wow, are we going to move across this world? No, we're not doing anything with that. Nothing came together the way we wanted.
Huh.
God.
Weird.
Man.
One of my favorite things.
Uh-huh.
The dying screen in this game is incredible.
Oh, yeah, no, the game over animation's great. And the fact it speeds up every time you die at an individual level is the funniest shit in the world to me.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And then it has a really fun, like, sound sting as you respawn.
Uh-huh.
And getting the behind the scenes for them melting his head is really good.
Oh, did they have a behind the scenes of that?
Yeah, they put it up somewhere. I can't remember where it was posted.
Oh yeah, no, that thing's incredible. Because yeah, if you're listening to this and you're not going to pick up the game, so you have no idea. It's just it's like a clay or plastic model, a rubber model or wax of Romeo's face that just melts and reveals like his skull underneath and flesh. And then when you come back, if you revive, it literally reverses the footage to reform his face. And they're playing it at 1,000 times speed if you die multiple times in a level, and it's great.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That's literally stuff like that is why I'm like, man, I love Suda. Man, why'd this game go like this?
Yeah, there's just all these little hints of like cool art things like that. Like every level starts with a flower blooming in sped up footage and has a cool logo over it. I'm like, man,
yeah, it's
so many different things look cool.
Uh-huh.
But then none of that can be in the video game because the video game is UE5 and everything looks like goo.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate because I'm trying to not bring it up again, but it is image. I have a fucking PS5 Pro and the image quality is just a fucking nightmare. Look, on the Pro, that thing runs in 1080p internal instead of 720p, which is what it's running at on the PS5 normal.
Just give me 720p.
Yeah, no, this looks worse than any PlayStation 3 game.
It's fucking bad out here.
Yeah.
It's so fucking bad. God damn. Fucking UE5's a goddamn scourge. Seeing this diorama now, because I found an image of them building it, this makes perfect sense, because in that cutscene, they literally just keep panning over the same small part over and over and over again. And it's like, oh man, you really didn't build one large enough to do all these tracking shots to fill this time that you really wanted to.
Oh, wait, was it just of the...
Yeah. Like the idea of what the city is. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Weird.
Uh-huh.
I would never have known.
I mean, I looked at the cutscene and I was like, that's clearly a real built thing. I didn't know any of this ambition about like scanning it into the game. Maybe the wiki writers just made a mistake.
Possible. They do that.
They do that sometimes. Sometimes they say that ended the war.
At the same time, the ambition of building this just to film it and put it in the game is kind of crazy for being something I honestly don't even remember happening.
It's funny that you don't remember that happening because, again, it was another moment for me that set up expectations of having a more built-out world feeling. I mean, nothing about this game's plot implies that it needs to take place in all these time periods because all these characters are just time traveling to the places they're going to anyway. So there's really no reason it couldn't be a game that all takes place in a completely linear time progression in the city.
It's not like the time travel matters. It's not like these areas feel like different periods.
Right. They're just
not
they're
even
just
a little.
transporting the boss from the other time periods here.
Right.
Like the Civil War. Ugh. But yeah, I don't know. This game has a few different things where you could tell they really went all out on this one thing they're going to show, like the game over screen. And that can kind of be his special some of the times. But yeah, oh man.
Yeah.
This is the least we've enjoyed talking about a game ever.
Yeah, maybe. It's down there.
Is there anything else anyone else wanted to say before I wrap?
I'm desperately looking for something else. It's like, oh yeah, I need to bring this up because it was really important. And I can't find even one more thing.
Yeah, I think we hit everything I had in mind. We talked about how the music's good. We talked about how everything in the game just doesn't seem fully developed at all. We got to talk about this diorama that had a cutscene really early on in the game. It's weird because the combat is simple, like No More Heroes 3, but it's not as good. It's not even close to as good.
Yeah.
Like, it feels really janky.
And the bastards are just a terrible version of the powers you get in No More Heroes 3.
Right. And leveling them up takes forever. Like, they made every screen involved with powering up those guys just take way longer than it should.
I think it's wild that the spaceship travel feels the way it does.
Oh, yeah, where you just select where you want to go and then have to hold the button while moving the analog stick everywhere, hoping to collect stuff.
It's that, and it's also like you aren't selecting the destination from a menu. You're hitting the stick in a direction, hoping you eventually turn your fucking ship towards the thing you want.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, something tells me that's not what they planned.
That, and they have a whole system to collect space debris to make items to upgrade your equipment. I used that the entire game and made one item.
I did not even get to make one.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
That's not, no.
This game clearly just isn't done at all.
Uh-huh.
Do you guys want to know what's behind that door in the level up maze?
Yeah, what's behind it?
If you buy the key from the store for 500,000 of the currency, you get to do Bloody Sunday infinitely. That's what it does.
Oh.
You drive to the end of it and it's like, congratulations, you can use Bloody Sunday infinitely now. And I'm like, okay, you didn't make any, like, nobody would ever get this without spending literally hours grinding it out anyway. What's the point?
Yeah, and more importantly than that, like, by the time you would hit the end of the game, you're regenerating your Bloody Sunday every few hits.
Right.
It's like, if your blood generation stats and other things are keyed correctly, like, I literally would do a combo, maybe, and then Bloody Sunday over and over to every enemy. It's wild to be like, have infinite. I'm like, I do. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. It was weird that you can upgrade the, like, blood potential of your guns, and doing that basically does nothing, because shooting enemies with your guns, it basically doesn't get you blood back. So it's like, yeah, just waste your points here, sure.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up with our summary reviews and scores out of 10. We're going to start with Chris.
Romeo as a Dead Man is pretty disappointing. Only the faintest little whiffs of Suda-isms are here, and most of it's just really tall filler. I'm going to give it a 5. That's the best I can do.
Bob.
Yeah, we talked a lot about how disappointing and just frustrating and boring this game can be, but it does have really good music, and sometimes I vaguely enjoyed the combat. Suda's touch is still felt in some ways. I'm giving it a 6, and that's the best I can do.
I really love various aspects about this game. I think they're super fucking neat. If you were to weigh it by mass, it's probably 1% of this game, though. And yeah, I enjoy the combat somewhat, but it's not quite there. And I'm really disappointed by this game. I'm also gonna give it a 6, which means the game scored an average of 5.6 repeating points and a total of 17 points out of a possible 30. I'm just glad the next spoiler cast I get to do was on a much more positive experience.
Maybe.
Oh no, there are 2 possibilities for the next spoiler cast, and both of those are going to be great, especially in comparison to Romeo as a dead man. Sound off in the comments what you think the next spoiler cast is. Okay, bye. The executive producers for this month's GigaBoots videos are Spaceman Spiff, Red Blaze 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, Cooper Tank, BN12, and Rado. Thank you very much to our executive producers, and also these guys. If you want to become an executive producer or a normal patron, head on over to patreon.com/gigaboots today.